Greetings, YouTubers. Today I'm going to be doing my first gun review on YouTube. Never done one before. This is on my Ruger LCP2 and 22 long rifle. I'm assuming if you're watching this, you probably watched some videos from Hickok 45, 22 Plinkster, Beyond Seclusion, the Firearm Guy. I mean, there's a whole bunch of them out there, and these guns that these guys are shooting have no problems whatsoever. They'll shoot anything and everything, no failures whatsoever. Even stuff that they don't recommend, like subsonic and weak ammo, still runs fine. From Ruger's own website on the LCP2 in 22, in big letters, it says, "Confidence achieved, but not for me, because I haven't experienced any confidence with this firearm." So I want to share with you my experiences initially and after the first return and after the second return. Now, I did say to Ruger in my letter that after the second return, if it comes back with problems, there will be a YouTube video, and this is the fruit of that. So, initial problems. Failed to go into battery, failed to feed a new round, failure to lock back on an empty mag, yet it would lock back with rounds still in the magazine. Failures to eject, failures to extract, hand cycling the slide with ammo. You could pretty much duplicate a lot of the problems, and there was a burr on the entire end of the barrel at the crown. So, what did I do? I called Ruger. Customer service was great. The lady that answered the phone, first of all, I didn't have to wait very long. Second of all, she was very friendly, very nice, and very, very well pleased with talking to their customer service. So she got me a UPS label, shipped it back, and they replaced the slide assembly, the barrel, and the slide stop. So let's watch some videos when it came back. Unfortunately, I didn't video very much of it. But it didn't start off very well, because first thing when it came back, here's the first mini mag. Failure to fire. Very first shot from getting it back from the factory. Okay, so I shot mini mags because that was one of the things that they shot. They had shot Aguila in it. They had shot CCI mini mags. So for me, I thought, well, let's shoot some mini mags. And the very first shot, I wasn't recording it because I really thought maybe it was fixed. But there's that. And then here we go right after that. So here we go with 36 grain mini mags, take number 2. The first one didn't fire at all. So I'm holding the gun with one hand because I've got my phone in the other with a camera running. Okay, here's a mini mag. Didn't load. Okay, so it also exhibited all the other problems. And I have to tell you that while I did this, I was shooting Minimag 36 grain, CCI Velociter 40 grain, CCI Blazer 40 grain, Federal Champion 36 grain, I believe it was Remington Golden Bullet 40 grain, and M22 Winchester. And none of these issues seem to be ammo specific. It chokes on all of them. It doesn't really much matter. So I called Ruger up and said, hey, this thing's still giving me lots of problems. I cannot make it through a mag without at least 1 to 3 problems. And so, again, very kind. Customer service was very kind. And they did a label, shipped it back. And this time they replaced 3 magazines. After repair, firearm was function tested with 60 rounds without malfunction. Ammo used, Aguila brass, and CCI mini mags. 3 videos of the firearm functioning correctly with new magazines was emailed to the customer, and they did. The gal that worked on the gun, she sent me 3 videos, and everything worked fine. So either there's a trick that I don't know with this, or maybe they just didn't shoot it enough. I don't know. Because I cannot get through at least 3 magazines without some issue. So is it better? Yes. Is it fixed and reliable and confidence achieved? by no means. So let's watch some more videos here, and let's see what we got. So this one here is a dud, but there's something that happens with this too. Okay, so it doesn't really eject well. So for me, if I put it in and fire it again and it doesn't go off, it's an ammo issue. Okay, this is probably an ammo issue. Oh, wait a second. Now I get no extraction at all, and there is the round stuck in the barrel. Now this is after being back twice to Ruger. So still having some issues. Third time, nothing. Okay, that's a bad round. And that time the extractor did pull it out at least. Didn't eject, but at least it extracted. So let's look at another one here. There you go. The round did not eject, so it got caught and did a double feed. So we had that. Let's watch this. Here's a failure to load. This is Federal Champion, by the way. Today I did shoot mini mags, Federal Champion, and Winchester M22. See that? The round was, or excuse me, the chamber was empty. It didn't pick up a round, so that was that issue. And let's do this light strike. Got a lot of light strike issues, and that's been an issue with a lot of reviews. Look up the Lucky Gunner review. They had a lot of these same issues, and Ruger sent them a second gun. Unfortunately, the second gun had the same issues. So there you can see it's not ejecting. So if you have a light strike, you end up with a double feed after the light strike. And let's give it a second chance here on that round. There you can see it's got a strike on it, but I'm going to put it back in the magazine, see if it's a primer issue or see if it's a gun issue. Okay, looks like a gun issue to me. So let's keep going here. Again, no ejections, so you got to roll it out. Okay, so there was that one. Now, here's a light strike, but this is an interesting light strike. So there it didn't go. Okay, now I'm going to pick that thing up off the ground, and let's take a look at it. Okay, you couldn't see that, so I ended up stopping the video and zooming in and taking a screenshot. Do you happen to see any strike at all on that primer? Now you see the black? That black is from just gunpowder in the gun. Maybe there's something at 4 o'clock. I cannot tell. But that's definitely a light primer strike / no primer strike. So I don't know what's going on with that. But there's nothing there. That was with Federal Champion. Okay, so let's see if it's a primer issue or if it's a gun issue. Obviously there wasn't a mark on it, so it's probably the gun. Boom, yep, that's a gun issue. Okay, so now let's look, watch this. Okay, round stuck in the chamber, it's fired. You can see the firing pin mark on the 12 o'clock position. Empty case didn't come out because it didn't extract or it didn't eject, one or the other. This one I just wanted to show there's a weird ejection deal. That was with the M22. I had a light strike, but watch the ejection. It doesn't really eject properly. It gets flung out when the slide goes forward. So watch. Doesn't eject, but the slide going forward makes it go. So that was kind of interesting. Okay, that was a light strike. Here's a double feed. Now I thought there was something maybe in the gun. Or, excuse me, I thought maybe it didn't load one in the gun. So I was slow pulling back the slide. But, like usual, it does a double feed when you have a light strike. Get a lot of that with this gun. I get a lot of light strikes, and then I get a lot of double feeds because it won't eject. And then, just going to show that round. There is a mark on it, so, but it did go bang afterwards. So that was kind of interesting. Now I want to go over hand cycling. Twice when I sent this gun back, I asked them to hand cycle it. And the reason I asked them to is because a lot of the issues will show up when you hand cycle. It's like there, no ejection. Now you'll notice some of them will eject really well. Matter of fact, one hits the camera, I believe, on the third magazine. And you think, okay, well, you know, I didn't pull that back well. I pulled it slow. Yeah, I agree. That might have been self-induced on that one. But don't worry, it's going to do it several more times when it's not self-induced. See, like that's how they should eject. They should just fly out. But a lot of them just sit there. Okay, second mag. Flies out well, flies out well, flies out well. There you go. The extractor didn't grip. Therefore, it didn't extract. Okay, failed to go into battery. Gee, have we seen that before? Yes, we have. Didn't take a hard tap, just a light tap. And there we go, extractor issue again. Like I said, if you hand cycle this thing, you can get the same failures I'm getting by shooting it. But twice I asked Ruger to hand cycle, and I don't think they did, because if they did, they would see these issues. There you go, the extractor didn't hold again. And so then the third magazine coming in here. So lots of issues. But that's my experience with this gun. It's just not reliable at all. I have no confidence in the thing. I quite frankly don't have any confidence that Ruger's going to make this one work. As a matter of fact, they're probably going to be ticked off with this review, but I told them I was going to do this review. So, can they make this thing reliable? If you go to rugerforum.net and you look for a page here, let's see, how did I get to search here? Okay, LCP2 22LR problem thread. Now, this is not a scientific poll. And there's not very many people that voted. There's only been 9 people voted. 44.4% say theirs runs like a testing and evaluation gun with no issues at all. So almost half of them, no issues at all. 3 votes say that theirs has very few issues and it's usually ammo related. So that's 77%. Really don't have any problems other than ammo related problems. 1 person, theirs is a Jam-O-Matic and needs to go back to Ruger. And 1 person, you can guess who that is. Mine was and is at Jam-O-Matic even after being back more than once. So, yes, I believe that they do have some good ones out there. However, that's not mine. So to wrap this up, I just want to share a little bit about my experience with Ruger. It goes back to 1986 when I bought a Mark II. It was a very good gun. It was very reliable. It was very accurate. Very few issues with jamming or anything. It just always shot. And as a new gun owner, that's what you want. That was my first gun, my first pistol, but just first gun ever was this Ruger Mark II, and could not have been happier. And I was in college, didn't have a lot of money, but I graduated from college, and in 1990 I bought a GP100 357 very reliable, which you would expect from a revolver, and very accurate. 1991. Man, Ruger's done real well for me, right? So I buy an SP101, which was a total dud. It was in 357 Magnum when they first came out. Very bad fit and finish. So bad that I wrote to Ruger saying, hey, you know, I bought this thing where the crane meets up with the frame. Huge gap. It's twisted. I don't even know how it left the factory. They agreed. Shouldn't have left the factory, so they replaced it. Now, I sold it because it left a bad taste in my mouth. Their quality had kind of gone out the window or something. So fast forward 14 years to 2005. I had sold my original Mark II sometime around 2000 or thereabouts, and I regretted it. The Mark IIIs came out. They had a loaded chamber indicator, mag disconnect. I didn't want either of those. I bought a new Mark II. Constant stovepiping, constant jamming. Literally could not make it through a mag without some issue. Later, I've kind of fixed some of that. It's fairly reliable now and fairly accurate, but it's not as good as my other one, which is really a shame because 2005 was the last year that they made the Mark II, and they started in 1982. So what is that, 27 years? 27 years of a run, and no, I take it back, 23 years. 23 years of a run, and the last year is garbage, and closer to the beginning of the run, mine was really good. So that thing's a dud. Came in a blow molded case, which wore off the finish, the bluing. And then also, you have to have a hammer to take the rear pin out in order to get the barrel off, but then you also have to use the hammer to get the barrel off the frame. And to put it back together, you need the hammer to put the barrel back on the frame, and you need the hammer to get the pin back in. So Ruger, shame on you for 23 years of a run, and at the end it's a bad gun. So now that brings me to 15 years later, and I finally buy another one. Now, granted, I've bought several firearms in between here. I've bought Smith & Wessons, Kel-Tecs, Glocks, lots of different guns. But you notice that I kind of shy away from Ruger since 91. And it took 14 years to buy one. It took 15 years to buy another. Quite frankly, this LCP2 and 22 is garbage even after returning twice. So Ruger, if you're watching this, I wouldn't mind having one if it was one of the reliable ones like a lot of the reviewers on YouTube have gotten. However, mine has not been that way. So if you're watching this review thinking about buying one, all I would say is it's luck of the draw. It sounds like 77% have decent ones, and the rest of us, well, not so good. Watch some of James West reviews. I guess he's not too upset, although it gives him lots of problems, a lot of the same problems I'm having. He's blaming everything but the gun, but on mine it's pretty much the gun. So anyhow, thanks for watching, and hope this was informative. Have a good day.